guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, if you've been here before, then welcome on back. I'm Michelle. I'm an architectural designer by day, and in the evenings and on the weekends, I'm a hobby sewist. But in the last six weeks to maybe 2 months, I've been doing way more knitting. And today we're going to be talking all about this finished object. I have my laptop here in front of me. In case I look down, it's because I'm referencing stuff on my laptop so that I can make this video. This sweater kept popping up on my Instagram timeline earlier on this year, and I was just like enamored with the colors and then with the texture of the sweater as well. So I'm going to share with you a few of the images that I kept seeing. For instance, this one here. Next up, this one. And then again after that, this one, which is not the entire sweater, but you can see like the neckline and then where the shoulders are started, and it's such like a nice color combination with like the variegation throughout. So there's quite a few that I kept seeing, and I clicked on the hashtag It's the Lento Sweater by Jonna Helin, and there were so many different options, and that's how I knew. I was like, okay, I need to pick up knitting. I want to make this sweater for myself. So specifically this one here, this yarn is by Fiber MacGyver, and Fiber MacGyver actually had a knit along that you could go online and buy their kits so that you could make this sweater. Of course, I started it later than the official Fiber MacGyver knit along, but she offered a few different colorways, and this is one of them. Of course, this is the one that I was completely drawn to. This is the Fiber MacGyver Merino twist in disco, held with the Fiber MacGyver Suri silk in thistle. So let's talk all about the pattern. This is the Lento Sweater by Jonna Helin, and I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. It came out in May of 2021, and it was published in the Line magazine, issue 11. It calls for a fingering weight yarn that is held with a lace weight yarn. The needle sizes recommended are US 6, which is the 4mm, and then the US 10, which is the 6mm. Now, you've probably seen the video of the first sweater I made, and if you haven't, then please go check it out. But this sweater here definitely taught me a lot of new techniques. I'd never made something in the round, I'd never done short rows. It was just learning after learning after learning, and quite honestly, University of YouTube was very, very helpful. I did make a few updates to the pattern for myself, because I did look at some of the reviews, and some people said that once it was finished, they wish that they had added some length into the bodice. So I actually made the bodice a lot longer than the pattern calls for. It's been a few weeks, so I don't remember exactly how much length I added in. But the great thing about this sweater and it being knit in the round and from the top down is that you can pull it over your head and see what the fit is. I also ended up doing the same thing to the sleeves, because it calls for like, I think it's called a bracelet length or a 3/4 length sleeve, and I definitely wanted the sleeves to be closer to my wrists. So I extended the lengths on the sleeves. To create this, I used 2 skeins of the Merino twist, and then I used like 2 and some, so not quite 3 skeins of the Suri silk. And it's not perfect, but for a second sweater and for like my first shot at some of these techniques, I'm really happy with it. Of course, you can see there's like a few spots where I missed a stitch, but hey, it's a second sweater. I made it for myself with my own 2 hands, so I'm very pleased with it and very happy with it. I'm gonna turn it around so that you get to take a look at it. I haven't woven in the ends as yet. I did lock it, so the next thing for me to do is to weave the ends in. So in the process of knitting this sweater, I discovered that Susie from Fiber MacGyver is phenomenal at dyeing yarn. And I came across a few more colorways and skeins that I needed to add to my collection. And now I'm going to share them with you. I think right now they're all going to become Lento sweaters, because I really like this pattern, and I like the way that the pattern is simple enough that the yarn and the way that it is dyed is what shines through. I think that if I were to use a more complex pattern with like some texture work that it would end up clashing. So I'm gonna stick to this one for a few more sweaters. So yes, you can feel free to judge me for making the same sweater a few times, the same way a few people have asked me, are you only gonna make jumpsuits? But you know what, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It don't need fixing. So for the first colorway I'm gonna share with you, it is the Merino twist in Azure, and I got this one here from A Skein Away, and I want to get it close to the camera so you guys can see what like the color plate looks like. My intention is to hold this double with a dark lace weight yarn. I haven't bought it as yet, but I'll be sure to share it with you guys. I hope that the texture shows through, like the color shows through, sorry, not the texture. Then next up after that is the Merino twist in Enchantment. This one has like some pinks and purples. It's a pastel. I'm not sure what I'm gonna hold with this one as yet. I'm still figuring it out. This one also came from A Skein Away. And then next up, don't judge me, although this here is a judgment-free zone. So I did get the Suri silk in Azure as well. And this one I picked it up from the yarnery. My intention is to use this as the lace weight yarn against a dark blue merino, or a dark blue fingering weight, sorry. So it's going to be interesting to see how this sweater with its dark blue lace weight versus this sweater, which will be with a dark blue fingering weight, will come out. So this is gonna be its own experiment for myself to figure out like how the different colors in the different weights will affect the sweater. And then last but not least, the Merino twist in Petti LaBelle from Dandelion Fiber Company. And I will be holding this one double with this Ito Sensei in Pale Blush, which I got from the Common Thread in St. Pete at their opening. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned to see how all of these other sweaters will turn out. And if you do have any other like raglan sweater recommendations that you think these yarns will be able to shine through, please feel free to share them with me. Thanks for watching.